Tom Hartley, how are you?
Very good, thank you, and you?
Yeah, good. First time we've seen you since your winter escapades.
Yeah.
Congratulations on the England stuff, and yeah, it was brilliant to watch. That first test, 7 for 62.
It was just fantastic, after the first innings, it was pretty tough going. Didn't think I bowled that badly, but, they played me very well and clearly had a plan to come after me, and then, to come back in the second innings, and obviously Ollie Pope gave us that, that innings gave us something to go off really and gave us a score to defend. So that was great, and then just to go out with the freedom of knowing what we had to defend, it was fantastic, and it turned quite a lot as well, which was helpful.
Yeah, it was brilliant. We were all jumping around here, and I mean you didn't back too bad either. You did well. A couple of really good knocks.
Yeah, so it was just nice. There was no pressure on the batting. Everyone's so chilled, and I had to slog a couple because the people at Ashwin, and they just don't miss from the top of the stumps, and I'm not the best at rotating, so over the ropes was the way to go for me. But everyone in the change rooms loved it, and really gave us something to build off really.
And from a coaching point of view, are you premeditating them, or are you saying to myself, if it's in a certain area, it's going? How do you do that?
Well, I sort of try and face a few balls, try and determine, just like for Ashwin, for instance, try and determine if he's going to spin it past my outside edge, and if I decided he wasn't, the pitch wasn't doing that much, then I'm normally pretty good at using my feet, so I try and get to the pitch of it and just swing and hope for the best really. And I got a few out the middle, and they went into the crowd.
Yeah, it's brilliant, mate. Good for the bats as well.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the bowlers that fascinates me, and I'm sure it does many other people who'll be watching this, is Jasprit Bumrah.
Yeah.
What's it like to face him?
It's horrible. I mean, when he comes on, the crowd get going. They start like chanting like Bumrah, and he's running to bowl. And I remember that he bowled me my first ball, and everyone knew it was going to be a Yorker bar me. So everyone knew what was coming apart from him. I was like, well, he's got a good chance, but I'm not 100% sure here. And luckily, he just got a bit too much and it went down leg. But no, he was so tough. He's just running in so slow, and then it's just that snap. And thankfully, he wants wickets and didn't want to go over my head. Thankfully, so. But he's just tough. Like his seam's ball upright, and he doesn't miss and just.
Well, Gavin and I went to India last October, as you know, and we went to the India-Pakistan game, and we were side on, and just watching him, it's like a 15-yard run-up, and he just ambles in, and then it's just an explosion at the crease, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just not what you're expecting, and then he's got this cutter as well that you can't pick, because the last second he just rolls his wrists, and you're expecting a ball at 90 mile an hour and you get a ragger at 70, so he's got everything, to be honest. And
he didn't go short at you very often. But you're a tall lad. I mean, yeah, you'd be fine, but he bowls one of them that follows you, doesn't he?
Yeah, the lads up top, he looked horrible to face, but I think, Crawley and Duckett did a great job up top, and it was the spinners that did a lot of the damage, really.
Yeah, obviously no Virat Kohli in that series, but this Jaswal looks unbelievable.
Yeah.
How good a player is he?
I hated bowling at him. He was, anything outside off stump, he was just trying to hit as hard as he could, and he just didn't let you settle. You just, 1 minute he's hitting you through the offside, then he'll sweep you, and then he'll run down at you, and you're just scratching your head really thinking, I'm trying to bowl the other end, to be honest, but yeah, he's some talent, and he's going to score a lot of runs, I reckon.
Obviously, I mean, Virat's a god over there, isn't he? But Rohit Sharma's getting into that sort of stratosphere as well. What a player he is.
Yeah, he was equally as tough to bowl at. He's a genius with his captaincy, and can man that team very well when Virat isn't there. But he knows his game better than anyone, and he was again very tough to bowl at.
No, so obviously first test experiences, and obviously a baptism of fire against probably one of the best sides in the backyard. So for you now, looking for the English season going forward, what were the pluses and the minuses that you take from that tour into the season?
Well, obviously, not to get too down when things aren't going your way. The way the first innings panned out in that first game, it could have been quite easy to get my head down. Thinking I'd do a bit more, spin a bit more after watching their spinners bowl. But I think just be patient and just keep on playing with a smile on your face, because as soon as you let your head go down and your body language, and you turn into a more of a negative bowler than trying to be positive. And I think from the team, they just want to take wickets. So however it looks like on the field, you just want to consistently try and take wickets and not look to try and bowl maidens. Well, obviously that comes with it, but you just look to take wickets all the time, really.
Yeah.
I think that's great advice for any young player, Gav. Anybody can have a bad day or a bad spell, and just keep working, keep smiling, and bounce back. Yeah, great advice.
The next ball, and then obviously this season coming, you've got another wealth of experience in a player that you're playing with Nathan Lyon. How are you finding that so far?
Yeah, he's fantastic. He's been great with me. We've really got to know each other really well, and I feel like we have a good relationship, and that's just helped with talking about the game. It took a few weeks for us to really get to know each other and be confident around each other to talk about technical stuff. And we're not played as much together as we would have liked, but watching him was fantastic, and just seeing the tactical side that goes through his head, and his technical side, he's spot on really, and it's just been a joy to watch and play with him really.
Has it been good, Tom?
Yeah, they've been fantastic, can't complain. The ping out of them's been fantastic, and been able to clear the ropes.
As we saw.
Yeah, as we saw, so that's been great really.
Gav, do you just want to talk through the characteristics of Tom's bat?
Yeah, we can do. Obviously, Tom's chosen our Signum from our series range, full profile bat. Obviously, Tom's a tall individual, strong individual, so he can manage the weight. We do them for him at 210. But obviously, also as you can see here, obviously Tom builds his grips up there, to give him the feel that he desires.
Just on that, what do you like about the thicker grip?
Well, I feel funny enough, we were playing in the T10 and Pollard was there, and he obviously big lad, big hands, and he had 2, maybe 3 grips on, and then I just saw it and I was like, I picked up a few of his bats and they were nice, and I feel like it just, because I feel like I quite like to be attacking, and that just makes me grip the bats even harder. So if I can just stay that a bit more relaxed, have that bigger grip, it makes me not grip.
That's a fair point. You have got massive hands, aren't you?
Yeah.
I mean, if you weren't a cricketer, you'd be a goalkeeper, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, but it just helps me loosen that grip off, and then I'm not so bottom-handed. Then it just makes me play a bit straighter. Well, try to anyway.
Okay, brilliant. Yeah. We're going to repair some of those. You were talking, Gav, with Tom earlier about the back gauge situation and taping them up.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Tom gets tested, sort of thing. Obviously, this is the MCC, the back gauge, and so his actual bats do go through the gauge. Okay, there, so we are okay. But Tom was saying that on some of the bottoms, if you tape them up too much, then if once like that one, so that one's obviously sitting there now.
Yeah.
That one might have to be, just take a bit of the tape off there, because there we're fine, but just there. So I mean, again, that's it's players' preference sort of thing, but just things like that you're having to be wary of, all the time sort of thing. But with the fibre face that you use, with us, it's it's as thin as possible sort of thing. So the actual main part of the bat, is generally okay, as you can see, but that's it's something to consider sort of thing for people.
So they're 210 with a single grip. With a second grip, they turn out around 211, 211 and a half. Happy with the weight?
Fantastic. I feel like, I was actually a bit surprised at the weight of him, because they certainly don't pick up like that. I feel like they just got a nice light pickup, and as a lower middle order, you've got to be ready for a few short balls. So you want something you can feel you can swing pretty easily. But they've been great, and after a few nets with them, they just start to soften up a bit, and they they get a real nice ping off them in this.
We were talking about the press, weren't we? And we press, I don't know, if there was a scale for pressing, we're probably about a 6.5.
Yeah.
Some of the brands really hard to make them last a bit longer.
Yeah.
Some really soft. What we find with the softer stuff is it goes well to start with, but then fades fast.
Yeah.
Whereas at our press at the moment, few hits with it, knock it in, comes good, and then should last a long time. Can you relate to that?
Yeah, I prefer that because I'm pretty, loyal to my bats. I try and stick with the same one because more for me, superstition, and you just get the feel of something, how it picks up, and how it feels and stuff like that. So it's just nice to get used to it first, get used to like the different sort of weights or the different, they're all pretty similar, but there's like little things that may be different with them. But I love them, to be honest with you, and can't complain. Yeah.
Do you find that it helps, obviously, if you've got confidence in your equipment?
Yeah.
Obviously, it's one less thing to think about when you're out there, and you're finding that B3 gives you that confidence when you're out in the middle, knowing that you've got full confidence in the in the kit that you've got.
Yeah, like for myself, playing a lot of T20s, you want to look at any boundary and think you can clear it, and you've got to have that same confidence even if you don't quite middle it. And that's with these, I can I look at any boundary now and know if it's a big boundary, if I get it clean, I know I'm still gonna clear it, to be honest with you, which is a nice feeling. You're not feeling you're gonna have to muscle it there, and even if it's a short boundary, you don't even have to get all of it to go for 6, which is nice.
Good.
Okay, and the Signum, Gavin, is probably equal with the Players 3500 in terms of the pros.
Yes, yeah. I mean, like it's got a little bit more in here than the 3500. The 3500 may have it's slightly lower and a little bit more bulbous in this area here, but this one, as Tom has just adhered to there, it's got a very large hitting area. Just
long
here,
middle.
So, yeah, it's got a long middle. So as you say, if you're not quite to the pitch, then it does give you that confidence that you have got that little bit of extra wood a bit further up the back there to help you clear the ropes.
And before you went to India, I rang you and said you need any more bats. No, Blathers, I'm okay. But you did have the scruffiest looking bats on telly because you like a lot of the pros. Once they get a bat that they like, they tape it and look after it and get as much as they can out of it. But as with all our pros, Gavin keeps a stock through there, so they're ready to go. So here's a new one. You're off to play knots at Trent Bridge, aren't you?
Yeah.
So I'll get this knocked in, stickered up, and get this down to you while you're there.
Perfect. Thank you very much.